What's up? We got Legends from Season 1, Episode 3, Blood Ties. So this episode starts off like years ago in Egypt, where we see Vandal Savage, or as he was now and then, Hasset, and he's writing something when a mysterious figure attack is coming, but then the mysterious figure reveals himself to be Rip. But then, so in present day we see, or when the show takes place, which they call present day, we see them going for Kendra, and she keeps yelling about how Carter, why did they leave him? But then they put a sedative on her. So the team is like, yeah, we gotta defeat Savage for Carter. And they're like, yeah, but now they're stuck in the 70s, so they gotta do their next plan. So Savage, so Sarah comes in and she's like, and she scares Rip, and he's like, I just want to be alone. But she's like, yeah, and she's like, Ra's al Ghul told her is that if you can't defeat a man, cut off his legs. And if you can't cut off his legs, then take his heart out. But then, and then Rip is like, wow, Mr. Al Ghul seemed like a poet. Yeah. So they're like, we have to access Savage Bank. So they're like, let's go to a bank. And he's like, oh, then Snark's like, a bank? And he's like, this will not be you will not be required for this mission, Mr. Snark. So Sarah and Rip go to the bank, where Sarah realizes is that some of the bank tellers are mercenaries. Like, one has a tattoo, and one has like a mark, which Sarah also has. So Sarah fights all of them. The bloodlust activates, and he's like, I thought I said no weapons, and she's like, I got this, and fights all the bad guys. But then Sarah's bloodlust activates, and she must kill the guy they need to keep him alive. But Rip's able to stop her, and he's like, and he's like, hey, what was that back there? You're acting like some sort of animal. And she's like, I thought you knew how she was resurrected. And he's like, yeah, it's from some Lazarus pit. And she's like, yeah. So she's like, yeah, her friend Thea calls it a bloodlust. Okay, she and Thea are friends. Did they have like one? Okay, they probably had more interactions in the past, but from what we've seen, they only like one interaction in season 2, so I guess they're friends, and one interaction in season 4, so I guess they're friends now. And she's like, yeah, and she's like, she's not an animal, she's a monster. Yeah. So they tear the guy, and he keeps referring to Rip as Karib, and she's like, what's Karib? And so Rip reveals that back in the Egyptian days, he had a chance to kill Savage, but he hesitated and allowed Savage to capture him. So he cuts about a ritual, and he's like, that ritual will have something to do with Prince Khufu, or as you know him as Carter. And he's like, Savage is going to use Carter's body. So that's happening. While that's happening, we get Ray and Stein scenes where Stein is like, hey, the blade has tiny fragments in Kendra's bloodstream. So Ray, So Ray goes in, but he blasts all but one. But he's like, so he reveals that and they keep mentioning about the whole him being Stein's student thing, but Stein doesn't remember. They keep bringing that up, but Stein finally says that he does remember, and he says that Stein remember Ray passed the question that Stein answered after his class. So yeah, and he even made Stein jealous that Ray was just this smart guy, but he makes dumb decisions. So he's like, who did you lose, Ray? And he's like, now you remember me. He lost his wife. He mentioned his Felicity, but I skipped you over back in season 3, where Ray lost his wife during the siege. They snapped her neck, and he had a broken leg, and that all he could do was watch, and that's why he became the Atom, so nothing bad could happen again. I think that's what he said. So sorry, I'm having to move the thing. And things over there. So, okay. So then we see that Ray is. Okay, now I'm losing control of this review. Sorry, I'm trying to fix my camera, but it's okay. But it kept messing up. So, but anyway, back to the episode. So that was kind of funny that it kept messing up. But anyway, and it was also bad with the review. But yeah. So anyway. So yeah. So he's like, you couldn't save your wife, but you can't save your fiance, but you couldn't save your fiance, but you can't save Kendra. So they're able to play. So it's also Jack's fixing the jump ship on the waiver when Snart's like, hey, we gotta go to his museum. And he's like, what for? And he's like, to steal the Maximum Diamond. And he's like, I'm not gonna help you steal. And he's like, yeah, you are. So they steal the diamond, and he's like, we gotta go one more place. And he's like, where? And he's like, to the address where he grew up as a child. And he's like, that's. Yeah. So he goes to his old address and meets Snart meets the younger version of himself named Leo. Don't know why he doesn't go by that, but. And yeah, so he's like, hey, you're gonna take this diamond. Yeah, you're gonna take this diamond, and you're gonna. And he's like, why are you doing this? To protect him and his sister. But. And later, it's revealed that, again, Snart didn't change the timeline at all. Snart's dad, still does go to jail for stealing the diamond. Snart tried to change the timeline, but his dad still goes to jail anyway, so sad. But anyway, sad for Snart's dad. So yeah, so Kendra somehow knows where Carter and where Sara and the others are. Yeah. So Kendra has a psychic link to Carter, even though Carter's dead. She keeps. So it's like a cult, and he's like, and Vandal Savage is like, who did I take from you, Rip, that caused you to have all this hate? And he's like, ooh, I took your son and wife. And he's like, I'm going to enjoy doing it again. This guy's insane. So, he didn't know them, but once he meets them, he's going to enjoy doing it again. He's going to enjoy it. He's going to enjoy killing them, because Savage is a psychopath. So, Savage is a psychopath. So anyway, yeah, so the team busts. So he's like, Jefferson, he's like, Sara and Lance are in trouble. And he's like, we're on it, Professor. And and bust in and they defeat all the bad guys. Sara bloodlust activated again, and she almost kills the Savage's top right hand guy. Yeah. And then the episode ends with Carter's funeral. They take Carter's body and they have one last funeral for him to end off. Yeah. Not to end off the episode. And then now they're gonna put on some go-go pants. And he's like, where are go-go pants to end the episode? So I thought the episode was pretty good. It was a pretty good episode of Legends of Tomorrow. I really enjoyed it. It was really good to see the connection. Like, it was really good to, poor Snart, you know? He tried to change his dad's past by making it so his dad never went to jail. Only for his dad to do the same dumb mistake and go to jail. He gave his dad the diamond to make sure he would risk not going to jail, but he would go to jail anyway, having 5 years in Iron Heights. Yeah, but anyway, that was it for this video, and I'll see you next time for some more Legends of Tomorrow. Pew, pew. Pew, pew, pew.